Now that may sound too critical. Yes, I said it.
You talk about inspired, but there are a lot of people that want to just be entertained, and I feel that.
Hold on a minute. A lot of people who just want to be entertained.
Yes.
So you
not me.
No, hold on. hold on. So are you saying that entertained is just you throwing punches and the show's going to be really big and we've got these names? It's nonsense.
Well, evidently it is, because this is why you see fighters not fighters. Even the word that just came out of my mouth is not even real. But KSI and Jake Paul, these are not fighters, Chris.
I'm not going to make comment on that because it does. That's nonsense.
Yes. So it's the different.
Yeah, no, I can't talk about that. But that's today. That's money.
Yes.
Okay, and so you're looking at money. Unless you're willing to give your life, and remember, I should tell you this: the reason why I was able to actually arrive to where I did is because I first made an agreement with myself when I decided boxing was going to be the vocation that I was going to follow. I said, now I'm willing to give my life to learn this trade.
Yes. Now,
that first agreement with myself is why I made it. Mm-hmm. If you're doing it for money,
yes.
If you're doing it to keep fit, or I may like it, we'll say, no, don't come into this way of life. This is not play. Yeah, this is, let me tell you what this is. This is about being able to look at yourself in the mirror. You see, look, if you're in a fight and you quit, no one else may know that you quit, but you will know. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you what, you do not want to live with you. You do not want to live with you if you have quit and you knew you could go on. That's what boxing is. It is real. It is your life. Yeah.
Going back to the two fighters which you mentioned, which is Floyd Mayweather and Mike Tyson, and you saying that, we can't really gauge Floyd because we've never really seen him, having to get up or anything like that. I would say that we have seen him in tough fights where he's had to show his spirit.
The Shane Mosley fight.
Yes. The Shane Mosley.
I remember watching that fight. The Shane Mosley fight. We were watching it live. It was on the phone to each other. Me and Tunde was on the phone, and Tunde was shaking down the phone. I said, "Look at this little punk." But no, my saving Floyd.
But again, I say that to say that the way you speak about Mike Tyson, I'm with you and I'm not with you, because Mike Tyson's the person who got me into boxing. I love Mike. I just feel that, speaking to even Roger Mayweather in the gym, he was saying that nobody bought the electricity.
That's right.
Nobody to Vegas. He said, my nephew, he's doing it. But when Mike fought,
roadblock,
it was different electricity.
That's right.
And so I get that. But I'm looking from a fan, not from a trainer or managerial standpoint now. We never saw Mike overcome adversity.
What do you mean?
In the sense that
when he's in a fight down
and he's losing, he got back up and won.
Okay, I'm going to tell you.
I want you to explain that.
I'm going to tell you the greatest. I'm so happy that this happened.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I said.
Hold on. I don't want to lose my train of thought. Okay. So when he bit the ear of Evander Holyfield, it seemed that the media told the world that this is not a man. Okay, and Mike knows that he shouldn't have done what he did. But Mike,
25th, 97.
But Mike said he was butting me. What am I going to do?
Yes.
Okay, the referee wouldn't pay any attention, so I did what I did. Now listen to this. Yeah, he shamed himself that particular day. Now, Memphis, Tennessee. Memphis. I went to this fight where he fought Leonard Lewis.
Yes.
At the end of the 7th round,
yes,
he's got the swab is in his eye.
Yes.
The water is running down his face, and he says, I can't do this, man. This guy's he's too good. He's too big. He's too big. He said this, you can hear. And then he goes out for the 8th round. Hold on. He allows Lennox Lewis a clean kick. That's the man I know.
Okay.
You don't talk.
Yes.
All right.
Come on, dude.
That's right. Well done.
Yeah. That's
for
I
me,
love that.
You know
Yeah.
what?
I love that.
I've never ever thought of it like that.
Yeah. I love that.
But
Yeah, and
never.
you're the first person ever
Bust that.
to clarify that.
Yeah, that was a clean kill. He said, like, you know what, I'm done, but you know what, I'm going out like a man.
I'm going out like, that's
A
right,
warrior.
like a Christ child, like a warrior. That's right.
Yeah.
And that exonerated him of all things done in boxing.
Double deuce again.
Double deuce.
Oh, I mash up people table in there, but still, that is serious.
Chris,
that is
that
serious.
is the most potent answer to a question that I've asked many people.
Let me tell you, I was there that night when I think Lennox came out first, and I clapped for him, and then Mike came out and I clapped for him, and I remember there were people around like,
whose side you want, mate?
I'm not on anybody's side. I'm on the side of the warrior, the one who. It is not the critic, you see, who counts. Not the man who points out where the strong man stumbled or where the doer of deeds could have done better. The credit belongs to the man who's actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood. The one who strives valiantly. The one who errs and comes short again and again. The one who understands the great enthusiasms, the great devotions. The one who spends himself in a worthy cause. The one who knows at best in the end the triumph of high achievement. And who, at the worst if you should fail, at least he fails while daring greatly. So that his place shall never be with those cold or timid souls who know neither defeat nor victory. That's who we are.
Double deuce!
Again!
Double deuce.
Too much doubling in this one.
Too much.
But,
And Mike Tyson epitomized that
That's the word.
in that performance.
Yes, sir. Yes,
You
sir.
understand? You
And
can't
now I
say nothing
understand.
about them on there. You can't say nothing about them on there.
Now I understand.
Zero gunshot.
Yeah, I understand.
Blah, blah, blah.
Sorry for those at home. Gunshot. This is a Jamaican. Patama.
It's Jamaican clapping.
Jamaican.
Yeah.
In England, if I may, as English, in England we do as follows. Oh, how wonderful! How wonderful! That's right.
Yes.
When I ram dreadlocks.
So we're looking at the scene of boxing right now. We are looking at we've got Errol Spence is going to be fighting Terence Crawford for the undisputed World Welterweight Championship. It's taken a little time for this fight to materialize, but now it's been announced. The fight's happening July 29th in Las Vegas. What's your thoughts on those two men and that fight?
Now bear with me. I was on the phone to someone the other day and they told me that my son is being trained by David Hay. I didn't know.
I saw your son on Sunday.
Hold on. I didn't know. So if I didn't know that, how would I know about this?
That's the question I was going to ask.
Okay, so therefore, why am I not looking at boxing?
Yes.
I'm brokenhearted because again, the PE teachers and the promoters are making it. I'll tell you what I'd like you to do. You viewers, I'd like you to go and look up a fellow called Big Daddy, late 70s, and another fellow called
The wrestler.
Giant Haystack.
Giant Haystacks. You said it.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see whether you can't see the similarity between these heavyweights calling themselves
Big Baby Miller.
No, I'm not talking about that one. That's, So this was wrestling back in the early 70s. Okay, now, it's a show. Are these guys real or is it choreographed? Because effectively, that's what's happening today with the heavyweights, it seems. And I speak specifically of a particular character. I'm not going to mention his name. But look at Giant Haystacks. And who does he remind you of? That's not boxing. Boxing is real. It's real. It's not a game. People lose their lives. Michael Watson. You know how many years he has been disabled? Where he's lost his mobility, he's lost his youth. to boxing. That's real. So how can I look at these fellows playing this game, talking as though they are full of steel, but it's hot air?
What I would say is Errol Spence and Terence Bud Crawford, are two of the most. I mean, I've been in the gym with Errol.
I'm sorry, I can't give you any feedback on that.
I don't want you to give me any feedback. Yeah. What I'm trying to say, I'm just letting you know that these two are real fighters.
They're real. Okay.
These two are real fighters, and they got real trainers under them. Well,
can I just say? Yes. Now you've told me this, yes. I will look into them.
Yes.
Specifically.
Believe me.
But to ask me to look on a holistic type, yes. But no, I can't look at that.
Yes.
Because I was talking earlier about, I'm going to give you an example of a young man who I like. No, I don't just like him, I love the man. And what's happened to him is a travesty. So at 13 fights, he was put into a heavyweight championship fight at 13 fights against a person who, again, is like a cardboard cutout. So now he's got the championship of the world at 13 fights. You haven't learned your trade. And because you haven't learned your trade, you're gonna be embarrassed, and your life is gonna be in danger because you don't know how to protect yourself yet. I remember saying to him, I said, Anthony, you've got to go to America and get lost in some little dingy place where no one knows you and learn your trade. And if you don't, it's not gonna be nice for you. And this is exactly what's happened. Now, why was he put into a fight, a world championship fight at 13 fights? Money. You can't bypass the skill, the craft, and the life. You can't bypass it. And that's why we are being starved of great fighters today.
Okay, that's interesting.
Interesting? No, yes. It's the fact.
Yes.
That's why I don't know what's going on in boxing, because I'm heartbroken that the promoters are ka-chinging money, but the fighters can't learn their trade.
I think he had a few more. I don't think he was 13. I think he had 16 fights.
No.
Yeah.
When he fought
Prince somebody.
Oh no, he fought Charles
Martin.
Charles Martin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Charles Martin.
Yeah. But a lot of people, I remember Larry Holmes at the time was saying that he's too inexperienced to hold that belt. So
so inexperienced, what does that mean? That means you're being fast-tracked by someone who's looking for money, not for... Look, we fighters, we want to watch great fighters. We want fighters to build into great fighters. They can't be built if the promoters are building them, because they're looking at the notes. They're not looking at the caliber. And what else can the fighter do? That's a lot of... No, well, obviously I've got to go for the money.
Right, well...
Not understanding that may cost you your life. And if it doesn't cost you your life, it may cost you your self-fulfillment, which is the worst thing to lose, that you're not fulfilled.
All right, but say Anthony Joshua didn't take that world title fight when Tyson Fury got stripped of his IBF crown, Charles Martin won it. If he didn't take it, it was there, it was presented to him at the time, and it was a winnable fight. So if you're looking at business, I think they've done great business.
I'm not looking at business.
No, the
promoters are looking at business.
Of course they are.
I'm looking at building great fighters.
Yeah, but Anthony Joshua's looking at the fact that he's become a world heavyweight champion. He's defended it numerous times. He's become a unified champion where he's beaten good men. When he became unified champion, Josie Parker's a good fighter.
Hold on.
Josie Parker.
But this isn't.
I understand. No,
let me shut down your argument. I'll shut it down.
It's a debate.
Okay. Order.
Yes.
Okay.
Procedure.
Procedure. Okay. Let me explain this.
Please, I want to listen to this one.
Maybe less said, easier to mend. But enough has been said to give you enough, to give the public enough to say, well, actually, let's look at this. See, again, if you make champion at, 13 fights, you're supposed to have your first world championship fight Certainly after 22, 23, 24, 25 fights.
Okay.
Not at 13 fights, not at 16 fights. You're still a novice. A novice is someone who doesn't have experience yet. So when you fast track them for money and fame and social media numbers, when you do that, you're destroying the fighter and you're hurting me, the observer, or the person who wants to watch the real craft, the real art, the real life.
I mean, so then there's a clear distinction between the amateur setup and the professional setup, because the reason why I say that, if I look at the two guys that we fight, and no doubt, evidently, there's ways of looking at it. I guess from a fighter's perspective, from someone that's come from humble beginnings and background, they're looking at a way really to give their family a better life.
Yeah.
So I think that's always got to be thrown into the picture. The fact that.
Sorry.
But yeah, that's why I'm interested to hear your opinion. But then you're saying that a fighter really shouldn't be fighting for a world title for 13 fights. But supposing they've had an extensive amateur career.
No.
Is that because it's two different sports?
No. Well, no. I remember the Magic Man.
Antonio.
Who?
Antonio.
No. There was a Magic Man. The father didn't allow him to box for 4 years. Put him in dancing school.
That's Lomachenko.
Lomachenko.
Yeah, so that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
396 amateur fights, only losing.
Okay, so the point I'm making is you have your exceptions maybe, but it is an exception.
Yes.
You don't have that. That's not normal. Okay.
Yes, that's not normal. Okay.
That's cosmic. That's cosmic. Okay. I mean, for the general mass of fighters, you have to go through the life, living the life. You're not looking at girls. You're not going to parties. You're getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning to run. You are not telling your trainer or anyone that you run at 4 or 5 in the morning, because then that makes you a jumped up guy. You're keeping it quiet. You're building yourself from within. This is how I did it, and this is how fighters were created back then. Not today. Today you have the promoters who know nothing about boxing. They know the names of all the fighters. They know how to match. They know how to ka-ching or make the money, but they know nothing about boxing. I heard one particular charlatan say, well, obviously, we know about boxing. No, you don't know about boxing. You know nothing about boxing. And if you do, come and sit down with me. You don't know anything about boxing. What you know is how to use fighters to line your pockets. That's what you do.
So how do we eradicate that? How do we make...
We're doing it right now. Because unless the fighters know, and unless we put the promoters on notice, they'll carry on doing what they're doing, which is riding on our backs. They're called they're called parasites. They ride on your back. If you look at the houses of these men, how is it the fighters are destitute and they have homes and families who are going to private schools? How is that? We're not stupid, or are we? Well, I certainly am not. And from my point of view, we should be in the mansions. Hold on. Right, so the work ethic is what we do. How comes you're making all this money? And you're matching the fighters wrong, and you're bringing them up too quickly to where they can't learn the trade.
Wouldn't a promoter say, but we're putting up the money? How do you feel about that? Because I've heard, I'm
not a violent man, but let me tell you, someone said, I would punch them. We're putting up the money.
Yeah, that's...
Hold on. So you're putting up the money.
Yes.
And I'm putting up my life?
Yes.
No. When a person tells you they're putting up the money, don't listen to that person.
No, I'm not saying I do, but...
Okay, that's a liar.
Yeah.
Okay, because you don't need their money. What you need to be able to do is fight. If you can fight, that's all you need. I came met Barry Hearn, 1989. I was sparring with Errol Graham up in Sheffield. He was getting ready for a fight with Mike McCallum. And Barry Hearn was at the Crucible. and I was trying to get with another unspeakable name in boxing. Okay, anyway, that didn't happen. Thank goodness, thank the Lord. And I met Barry, and he said, "Well, okay, I'll give you what you want." You know what he said to me? He said, "If you lose twice, this little wage I'm giving you, £1,200 a month. If you lose twice, okay, then obviously we'll have to renegotiate because it'll have to drop." I said, "No." I said, "No." I said, "If I lose once, I will not lose." That's what I said to Barry Hand, and he will confirm that, because I was in a vision. Do you understand? I was into me. I had learned the craft.
Do you feel that that's where a lot of hate comes from? Because I know Devon Haney, who just fought on the weekend. I was saying to Spencer, I've never seen so much public outcry, even from rappers. And I'm saying to Spence, is that because me knowing Dev's dad, you know, his dad actually wanted me to relocate to Las Vegas and train his son when Dev was 12, when they came over for the Olympics, because they was looking after Michael Hunter, and another heavyweight. And I remember me and him was sitting down. This was way before Dev turned professional. He was young, 16, and they changed the rules for the age limit to go into the Olympics. So me and Bill was in the car driving to 50 Cent's gym. He just opened the gym at the time, and he was looking at me, and he's like, "I know what you're thinking, Tim. You're thinking how the F did these guys do this thing?" And so what he proceeded to do was turn Dev pro in Mexico at the age of 16, have most of the beginning of his career in Mexico, gain that experience, and then continue to be in control of their own destiny. Till today, he's the youngest ever undisputed champion, just beating a modern great. It was a close fight. It wasn't, I don't call it a robbery. But I've never seen this backlash, and I'm just sitting there thinking, is it because they know the business? Is it because they're in control of their career? And that's what it is, and that's what you're saying. Fighters need to understand what they're worth.
Fighters, you're worth nothing if you haven't learned the craft, if you don't live the life, if you don't know the art. Okay, this has nothing to do with anyone else. It's only you and who's inside of you. And when you can fight, everyone will know it. Because everything about you will just spark.
Resonate.
You talk, it resonates. You talk, it resonates. Okay. When you have that spirit in you, you'll hear it. You'll hear it in the shots. You'll hear it's like listening to the Golden Boy when he fights. You can hear the snap. You can see the quickness. The spirit is alive because he has learned from the intuition from within. Not the talk. Oh, we can do this. We can do that. Lift your social media numbers. I have 218,000 followers on Twitter. I know how to use it. I don't know how to use it. The point is this. If I was a social media junkie,
yes.
How many?
You have 2 million.
You think? Let me tell you. That's not what boxing's about.
It's quite interesting.
Boxing is about modern day gladiating. A few hundred years ago, you wouldn't leave the arena with you couldn't leave the arena. One of you were going to die a few hundred years ago. So today they call it boxing. Well, it's modern day gladiating, and they have the referee there, effectively stopping one man from hospitalizing another. Okay. That's not anything to do with promoters. That's to do with you, Mr. Fighter. Mr. Fighter, that's to do with you. If you're listening to promoters, if you're listening to managers, check their records. If you're looking at their money, then you're gonna get hurt. If you're looking at their pockets, he's big. I remember Mickey Duff. I remember him saying to me, well, I'm the best in the business, I'll get you your world championship shot, and and everybody's with me. This is Mickey Duff. This was over a plate of fish and chips. Yeah. Oh, you know this story.
What's the story?
over a plate of fish and chips. So I was supposed to go to him because he was the big Mickey Duff. I said, no, it doesn't work that way. No, I don't care who you are. And the reason I didn't care is because I could fight. And when you can fight, no one can stop you. Ask the greats. Ask Mike Tyson. How do you stop a Mike Tyson? You can't. How do you stop a Chris? You can't. Because the ability is what brings you through. Once you've got it, you don't need anyone. They will flock around you when you have the spice, when you have the energy, when you have the sauce. That's right.
Yes. It's interesting what you say about the punch and you hit. When I was ringside, we were actually on that bill. Anthony was on that bill for his 8th fight, Canelo Alvarez versus Liam Smith. And I remember I phoned Spence. I said, Spence, the sound of this Canelo's punches
that's right.
is different. It's like
that's right.
boom.
That's right.
Boom, and you know, he's a guy, even at the press conference, he don't talk. He'll be like, yeah, obviously he's a bit outspoken now, but I can relate to what you're saying about you don't need to speak. Anthony, again, he's not a talker. He's got the highest KO ratio other than Beterbiev in the light heavyweight division. My fighter that I train, you know, 23 wins, 22 knockouts. And he is of that spirit, like what you're saying, you don't need to talk. So that thing, I'm feeling it because I've seen it with other fighters as well. The intuition, and I feel that, you know, you're making a great point as to what has been lost from a fighter's perspective in fighters today. How do we get it back, Chris?
We have to talk like this, and you know, it's only exposing them. It's only shining a light on these guys, so that you shine a light on them. You know, you must ask your trainer, what was his record? I remember being at a press conference and trying to get the upper hand, getting the upper hand. And I said to the trainer, I said, how many fights did you have? And I was going to say to him, if you've only had 3, 4, 5 fights, actually it was 2 fights he had. So if you've only had that many fights, how are you going to beat my son when I've had 52 fights and I'm giving him all of this information? There's no way what you've taught your fighter has nothing on what I've taught my fighter. So it's about you've got to put these trainers in their place. Only to say, look, I don't mind working with you, but I need to know your record. Because if your trainer hasn't felt it, he doesn't know.
How would you counteract that argument like Angelo Dundee, the great Angelo Dundee? He never had a fight.
And not only that, Chris, not only that.
Hold on, he asked a question, so let me. Okay. Angelo Dundee.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question. How do I feel about Ronnie Davis? You're the knowledge, so what have I said about Ronnie Davis?
Because Ronnie Davis is Southern Area junior welterweight champion. Ronnie Davis, he could fight.
Okay.
He was hard.
No. But what have I said about him as a trainer?
No, you give him credit.
Nothing but no.
You would give him credit.
Nothing but credit.
Yeah,
nothing. I gave him nothing but credit. Okay. Ronnie will tell you himself. When I first met Ronnie, I said, Ron, I'm going to give you a trial. When I will tell the world, and Ron will back this up, I said, I will tell the world that you're my trainer. But when we're in the gym, you can't speak to me. I will big you up, but don't speak to me in the gym. Because I know what I'm doing. What he knows, I've gone past a long time ago. Ron, that's not talking him down. Ronnie was a good trainer because he left me alone.
Okay, so
when you say Angelo Dundee, okay,
yeah.
when you say him, he's no different from Ronnie. He didn't make Muhammad Ali.
Facts.
Muhammad Ali made Muhammad Ali. He was by his side. Ronnie was by my side.
Okay.
It's always the fighter that brings the trainer through. It's not the trainer that brings the fighter through. Now, that's generally the case. We have a situation with Mike Tyson where that is an exception, where Cus Yamato, he was the spiritual teacher to Mike Tyson. And Mike Tyson doted on this man. So you have exceptions. Yeah, but as a general rule, it's the fighter that brings the trainer through to prominence.
But then how would you, so how would you answer this when you're saying this? So does this not sound a little bit of a contradiction? Because you're saying fighters are with PE teachers. These are your words, sir. Yeah. So if they were PE teachers, right, they would, and the trainer don't bring them, they don't need a trainer. With the sportmeister stay as it is then.
Yeah.
Hold on. They don't need a trainer. You're the one who said it.
I'm just reiterating I'm reiterating what you're saying.
That's right. Okay. You don't need them. You don't need them.
So the PE teacher, so then they can stay with the PE teacher. The game will stay the way it is because you're saying that the fighters don't need no trainer. You
need a trainer, not a PE teacher. You don't need someone to get you fit. You know how to get yourself fit. You need someone to teach you how to fight. Someone who can teach you how to stay in there when you can't. That's about intelligence. That's about someone who's lived this life. Look, okay, so now you go into a fight. As Mike Tyson said, everyone has a plan until you get punched in the mouth. What are you going to do then? Then you've got to go to backup. If you're looking to your corner, you're out. When you get knocked down, you look to your corner, you're out. You have to know what to do. You have to have worked it out yourself. That's how you do it.
But obviously, but isn't it, to my mind, the whole point of a teacher is to bring out what's inside a student, but direct them.
I thought the whole point of a teacher was to teach.
Yeah.
Right?
But what I'm saying is that, again, you are an exception in the way you've done things. But there's not many Chris Eubanks in this world who have done things the way you've done them. So you go to school to learn.
Okay, but who are you being taught by?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. But there are, the whole point of having a teacher is someone that can bring out of you and direct you. And take, that's why these guys are saying there ain't no teachers around.
Right. Yes.
Like an Emmanuel Stewart.
Yes.
Like a Ray Arcel.
Okay, yes. Well, look, to shortcut it, the easiest way to put it is as follows. Again, okay, look, if you want to learn how to fight, look at Mike Tyson. Look at Lennox Lewis.
Study them.
Look at Floyd Mayweather. When you look at them, you train yourself. Copy what they do, what you like.
Yes.
Copy what you like. Oh, I like the way he did that. Mm-hmm. So then copy it. You don't need a trainer to be doing it. It's not pad work. You want to be hard. You work on the heavy bag. Or the wall bag is the best because the wall doesn't move. So you're the one who has to give in. And if you can keep on hitting that bag like 3 minutes, that wall bag for 3 minutes, that will build your stamina. People getting, if I run, I'm going to get fit. You know what Mike said to me? Mike said to me, this was the second time I visited him in when he was at the correctional facility in Indiana. He said to me, I said to him, what's the most important thing in boxing? I think I said the two most important things in boxing. This is what Mike said to me. He said, sparring is one, and you think that running is second. He said Gus Yamato didn't believe in running, and I don't do impersonations, but Mike said Gus said to him, "You want to be a sprinter? You want to be a sprinter?
Runner, yeah.
You want to be a runner? You want to sprint? No, sparring. With Junior, what I did, sparring. Don't talk to me like that. Sparring. Fitness, you're going to be, if you want to be fit, spar.
Chris? Finally, I'd like to say, if you had a message to give to the world right now, you can look at the camera for the Fight Is Right. And this is actually on the inside as well, right? What would that message be, sir?
Integrity. Integrity is your key. If you don't have that, do not get involved in boxing. Integrity, the next word next to integrity is honesty. So you have to be honest. Honest means you're not doing it for social media numbers. You're not doing it, you're not building yourself in the public. You're building yourself within, quietly. Yeah. Without that integrity, you're in what they call a game that will destroy you. Because it's not a game. You got to live with you. You know, if you quit in a fight, you can't win the fight. You're having it. You feel as though you're losing your life. If you quit, you have to then look at yourself in the mirror. You're washing your face in the morning. You catch your eye, and you know that you quit. How you don't want to do that. You don't want to live that life to where you know that you punked out. That's why you don't get involved in boxing. It's not a game. It's a way of life. It's a gladiatorial life. And the only way you can come through it is if you are true, Christ-like true. What is Christ-like? Integrity. Next to integrity is what? Honesty. You have to be honest. You can't win a fight, you've got to stay in there and take your beating. So train in such a way, train yourself in such a way. Think of what an opponent can do to you. So combat it internally. Well, you know, if I keep my hand here, then I could get caught with so I've got to keep this hand, I've got to keep this hand locked here.
Telephone.
I've got to keep it, yeah, like a telephone, I've got to keep it locked here. And I can't carry my elbow 2 inches away from my ribs, because if I do that, a man like Canelo will break them. You got to lock it here. And you always have to be in this motion. Whenever you're still, you're going to get hit. You're going to get hit. You always have to be in this motion. And the first thing you're trying to do is evade his jab. It's coming. If you're waiting for it, like here, you see, you think it's coming, you get hit. You have to be already moving. Don't get hit. Once they put the radar on you, that jab, if they get the radar on you, everywhere you go, you're going to get hit. And once they have the radar, then they can bring in the power. Okay? You have to learn the trade yourself. Not listen to people telling you how it's done. You are in the ring. You are doing it. You're working it out. They don't know what it feels like. They've never sparred in their lives, most of these PE teachers. And I'm not speaking derogatorily about them. I'm trying to wake you guys up. The fighters, I'm trying to wake you up. You can't do this through them. You have to do it through you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Christopher Eubanks. This is I have to say that
Christopher
this is
Livingstone.
Livingstone.
Eubank.
Livingstone.
Eubank, please. Yes.
This is one of the most. I have to say, this is one of the most inspiring, thought-provoking, education.
If we are not thought-provoking, then how can the fighters raise themselves?
Yes.
And how can we stop these infiltrators coming in teaching us what is no good to us, which is just being fit? If you want to be fit, go to some Nautilus gym thing. Boxing is about sparring. Everything else is a trick. If you're not sparring, how are you going to beat a man like me?
I know, because I know there'll be people watching this.
TUNDE, you're trying. You know every fighter spar.
That was the rumour, that we don't spar. You know,
your fighter can't be anything if
and I was like, we was always like, yeah, let them carry on talking, because, you know, we've been to the top of the mountain twice, and if we didn't spar getting to the top of the mountain, that's the thing. But we know that, I know that, and it's great for me to hear. And I feel when you talk about the younger generation, or this generation of boxers today, they need educators. Yeah. They need ex-fighters, yes, like yourself,
like ourselves,
to continually educate them on what's right. I feel the youth today are bypassing so much knowledge by not talking, and it's one of the reasons why I created this platform, or myself and Spencer created this platform, to bring people like yourself in maybe where the mainstream may not want others to hear feelings.
Of course they don't. Hold on. Yeah, you leave them alone. You come to me. Yeah. There's nothing to be afraid of. I'm a gentleman. I'm a gentleman. All I want is for you to have what I once had, which was the enjoyment of two men competing against each other. I never ever take sides. Even when my son was fighting, I don't take sides. Sure, obviously I'm on my son's side, but if my son should lose to you, I will congratulate you. I'm not against you. This is the warrior's code. The warrior is strong, yet his sleep is fragile. His wisdom, an amalgamation of precedent, yet his decisions cannot be based on the frailties of man. He is rather fueled by divine inspiration, ascending from the heart. He knows not anger, and only fears the unknown. The warrior does not judge. The warrior does not judge, for his true assignment is to deliver evidence of superior behavior to the creator of all men. Yeah. The warrior does not dream of frontiers. He only sees horizons. The warrior is a creature of irony, for his genuine task is to ensure peace. Yeah, that's who we are. The true warrior knows, accepts, and embraces, above all, integrity, which is his only course in life. Reason and the application of reason, which is his only weapon. And forgiveness, to forgive, to let go. The one true cleansing virtue. And only when one can fully absorb these most divine of all virtues can one at last see how impossible and futile it is to make war. And that's what all these children are doing, playing war with our lives. Can you believe it? How do people looking after, how does a government spend trillions on munitions? How do they spend trillions on munitions and munitions only kill people? And you're having a private rap between yourselves, and these munitions are going to kill the inhabitants of your country. I don't get it. It is backwards. It is backwards. That's common sense at play. The common sense we're really talking about today is not having promoters tell fighters how to fight, because they don't know what they're doing. What they know how to do is make money for themselves. That's right. I'm going to expose you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, the most articulate, I'm saying it, the most articulate, most well-spoken boxer I have ever been in the presence. And I've been in the presence of a few.
I didn't want to say anything else, but again, you're making people miss the point. Stop watching the fighter I was. Watch the man. Watch how I lost.
Yes.
Watch when I lost. Watch how I respond in criticism when people lied about me. How did I respond? I didn't respond. Why? Because I don't deal with liars. If, by Rudyard Kipling. I'm only going to give you the first four lines. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you but make allowance for their doubting too. If you can be patient. If you can wait and not be tired of waiting. Or being lied about, don't deal in lies. I never dealt in lies. Or being hated. Never give way to hating. And try not to look too good nor talk too wise. I'm going to go on. If you can dream and not make dreams your master. If you can think and not make thoughts your aim. If you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same. If you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken twisted by knaves, the media, to make a trap for fools. Yeah. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose, and start again at your beginnings and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing left in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, no bad language, or walk with kings, nor lose the common touch. If neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men counter with you but none too much, if you can forgive, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance room, yours is the earth and everything that is in it. But what is more, you'll be an example to my children, our children. You'll be a standard bearer. You will be a man. Rastafari. Christ-like behavior.
And on that note, Baba Tunde AJAYI says,
we end this show, unfortunately, because I can listen to Chris all day long. But, you know, we got places to go and people to see. In the magical words of dream it, believe it, become it.
And listen to Tina.
Come on up. Peace, two fingers. We out.
Tina Turner. Yeah. Give me the name again. Anna?
Anna May Bullock.
Anna May Bullock.